What's up, gearheads and DIYers? This is the ultimate paint fill, customization, and personalization tutorial. If you want to learn how to make awesome personalized touches like this with your golf clubs, this video is for you. I'm Ben Nelson, founder and CEO of Vanquish Golf Works, and I'll be your Sherpa today. This is not going to be one of those 2-minute videos. Why? Because I want to make sure that we don't leave any of this stuff out. I want to make sure that I cover everything and nothing is forgotten. I promise that if you stick around for this entire video, you're going to learn something cool, you're going to see something new, you're going to be inspired by something different, and that's really going to, I think, help you with your next project. So I never know what it's going to be, you'll probably never know what it's going to be, so stay with me till the end. As always, if you think this looks cool but don't want to do it yourself, feel free to send it my way. I'd be happy to help. Check out the link in the description below. Let's get straight into it. Why not? In case you lose it. It adds color. To make yourself laugh. To motivate yourself. The creative process can be really fun. To make your friends jealous and separate you from the crowd. Here are the tools you're going to need. Blue shop towels, Kim wipes, acetone, thin cardboard box pieces. These parts and tools all help you remove excess paint from the project area. Acrylic water-based craft paint, tester's paint. Oil paints achieve a brighter, glossier sheen versus water, but will dull over time. Oil paints dry harder, making them more durable, but they can also become more brittle and they could dry out in different weather conditions, leading the paint to fall out. Oil-based paints are susceptible to UV and therefore can yellow over time. Water-based paints are more flexible, making them a better choice in various weather conditions. Water-based paints are more UV resistant and hold their color over a longer period of time. I used acrylic water-based paints and you probably should too. Paint stripper and Q-tips or cotton swabs. Paint stripper removes the old paint. Nail polish remover can work too. Tiny paint brushes, toothpicks, screwdrivers, or a dental pick. These are all excellent tools that can help you put the paint only where you want it to go. Masking tape. Masking tape helps you preserve what you've already done, and it can also help you do cool multicolored parts. Heat gun. A heat gun can help paint dry much faster. Needle paint bottles. These are a convenient way to get rid of some of the other tools and clean some of the things up, but I would not recommend using them. The reason why is because the paint tends to dry out from these rather quickly, and you're going to waste a lot of paint. Fortunately, all of these tools really only add up to about $100. If you get like larger things of paint, or you just get a whole bunch of paint like I've got over here, well, then it might add up a little bit and you might get somewhere into that $200 range. But fortunately, everything that we're going to be using is going to be fairly cheap. You know, how much does a toothpick cost? How much do Q-tips cost? Everything is like $4 and $5. There may be a couple things here and there, like the paint stripper or like the acetone that's maybe a little bit more expensive, you know, 20, 25 bucks, something like that. But for the most part, everything is pretty inexpensive, and like each paint bottle and each color that you're gonna find is gonna be anywhere between like $1 and $2. So you can kind of go crazy with some of those things, and this isn't something that is gonna cost you an arm and a leg. Technique and tips. One color at a time. That's it. Use masking tape to protect the areas that you've already painted. Wipe away from the blank areas and only through the blank spaces. Make sure all of the old paint is gone and stripped out. We already talked about this, but acrylic water-based paint is by far your best option. You won't see me do it here because I've learned my mistake the hard way, but never drip paint directly from the bottle onto the golf club. This is just like stamping. Plan ahead and know where you're going to go and what you are going to do. Using the heat gun on low mode can help dry paint more quickly and help you eliminate bubbles. Use as little paint as possible. Use any tiny tool, screwdriver, or paintbrush to apply paint to the areas. Use less paint and spread it out over a greater area rather than just globbing paint on over a small surface. Make sure the project is flat and your work surface is stable so that the paint doesn't run. Secure your club so it doesn't move around and you don't have to hold it. However, in some circumstances, picking it up and moving it around with your hands is easier, so do whatever you think allows you to create the best result. It may take 2 coats to fill your stamp up all the way with paint. Use a cardboard square to clean up as much of your initial paint as you can before you follow it up with a shop towel and some acetone. To go through fewer towels, take one piece and fold it up a bunch of different ways and then cut it up using some scissors. When wiping away excess paint, use a heavily soaked piece of shop towel and then wipe once, see if it's got paint on it. If it does, fold it up and use a different area that has not been painted and wipe again. Do not use the same piece of shop towel over and over, as it will spread and smear the paint from one section to another. Here are the results. What do you think? Again, if you're going to give painting a shot, go ahead and check the description below. All of the products and tools that you'll need are linked down there. As always, if you think that this looks really cool and this is something that you'd like to have done, but you don't necessarily want to try it for yourself, I'm always here and happy to help. In the description below, there is a link to our club building page. Go ahead and fill that baby on up, and then I'm happy to fill it out for you, and then we can knock it out from there. So if you need to learn how to stamp first, then I would highly recommend checking out last week's video. Last week's video was all about stamping, a full guide just like this. So go ahead and check out the stamping video first and then get to the paint filling, because you don't really have a stamp to fill unless you've already stamped it. So go ahead and check out last week's video on how to stamp, and then from that point you'll be able to fill it up nicely and personalize it and make it look awesome just like this. Thanks again for hanging out, gearheads and DIYers. Until next time, see you later.